The following is a presentation of Sports Channel America.
Will the real Chicago Blackhawks please stand up? After losing Game 1 to the St. Louis Blues, the Hawks came storming back in Game 2 with a record-shattering 2 goals in 10 seconds. Off to the boards, hangs on, sending it to Wilson. Here's a drive. They score! Thomas on the steal. In over the bar. Peter Zezel's point-blank shot with under 1 minute to go was turned away by Chicago's Greg Millen. And rookie Jeremy Roenick iced the victory for Chicago with an empty netter just seconds later, much to the delight of his netminder. Tonight, the series moves down I-55 to St. Louis. Live from the Arena Sports Channel presents the quest for the Stanley Cup. It's the Norris Division Finals featuring the Chicago Blackhawks against the St. Louis Blues. Hello again, everybody. Pat Foley and Dale Talon in the St. Louis Arena, one of the older buildings in the National Hockey League. And tonight we're ready for Game 3 as the Blackhawks and the Blues enter this one tied at 1 game apiece. We touched on it before the game that the ice sometimes here can be a problem, although today they've had the air conditioning pumping in this rink virtually all day long. It's actually somewhat pleasant, rather cool in here to start the game, so the ice might not be a problem as it often is in the playoffs.
Well, it might not be. Let's hope it isn't, because it takes away from the finesse players like Savard and Brett Hull and Oates and Roenick and people like that, and the game becomes more of a clutch and grab grinding type game, and there's not much offense when the ice is bad. I'm sure the ice will get worn out and bad as the periods wear out, so it's important for the Blackhawks on one hand to have the lead, because the Blues are very good at protecting the lead. That's the type of style they like to incorporate. So it's interesting. It should be an exciting start to the first period.
Well, for the Blackhawks, one of their offensive keys, as he has been for the last 10 years, is Denis Savard. And unfortunately, there was a lot of controversy after Game 2. What happened to Savard in the second period? He went to the hospital for x-rays, and yet after the game, when the press asked him about it, he had to lie and say that he had the flu and he had a problem with a flu bug. That's Mike Keenan's tactics. He doesn't want any information out on injuries. It's too bad for Denis Savard, but much was made of that about a controversial situation. There really wasn't that much there, though.
Well, no one will ever know, but I think it's just as plain as that. He re-injured the finger that he broke through the regular season, and apparently they wanted to make sure it wasn't broken again. So he came back flying in the third period, and I expect Savard to have a good night tonight. He needs to have good nights. He needs to be at his best if the Blackhawks are going to win in this series.
The Blues have the last line change. That means Denis Savard is going to see a lot of two people.
That's for sure. Mahar and Wilson, two players. Wilson coming late in the year in the trade. Mahar is always assigned the task of checking Savard, especially at home ice. He's done a good job, and he's added some offense as well. So it'll be Mahar or Wilson that'll be out against Savard, and it'll have to be Savard. He'll have to be very patient with those two guys tonight.
Meanwhile, one of the other key matchups for this game, Brett Hull, and Mike Keenan uses a little bit of a different strategy when he checks an opposing winger, not necessarily a centerman, but against a winger, he likes to check him with a particular defenseman.
Well, that's his style. He likes to have a certain defenseman on the ice when Brett Hull's out there. Brett Hull has had a lot of opportunities, has scored 3 goals in his playoffs, has been brilliant. In the regular season, has 11 goals against Chicago this year, and they have to find a way of doing a better job against him if they want to win.
How do these teams change tactically for Game 3? A little bit of a bigger ice surface here.
Well, I don't think you'll see much difference. I think there'll be less of an opportunity for one team to bottle up the other team. I think there'll be a little bit more play in the neutral zone. It's a bigger neutral zone. And I think there'll be same type of play. I don't expect any different play. I think the intensity level will be good. I think there might be more flow to this one maybe than Game 2. So I expect an exciting game.
The first 2 games were dandies in Chicago Stadium. They were 1-goal decisions, although the Hawks got an empty netter at the end of Game 2 to make it a 2-goal final. 1-1 in the series. Game 3 follows this time out.
The 1990 Stanley Cup playoffs are brought to you by AT&T, the right choice, by Miller Genuine Draft, Cold filtered for real draft taste, so tap into the cold. By Gold MasterCard, the best gold card to master the moment. And by Lincoln, what a luxury card should be.
Nothing moves you.
Something wild is coming.
That's why.
The Cougar XR7. It has speed-sensitive steering and anti-lock brakes. But most of all, it has a supercharged 210 horsepower engine. It's becoming a cat-eat-dog world out there.
See your dealer now for low financing or special savings on 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7.
They really want me to take that job in Chicago.
When the moment really matters, there's no better card than MasterCard. With payment flexibility and nearly 3 times the acceptance of American Express. So you can buy what you want, when you want. For the way we really live.
I've been thinking. Please stay.
MasterCard. Master the moment.
Cold filtered. Never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
On the next SEC College Baseball Game of the Week, the Volunteers of Tennessee collide with the Florida Gators. 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific on Sports Channel America, Sunday.
Was that live or was it Memorex? Blackhawks and the Blues in Game 3 here tonight in front of a full house in the St. Louis Arena.
Greg Millen, his 10th appearance, 3.38, 4 wins and 3 losses. Finally got his first win in Game 2 against his former mates. Last time the Blues won a playoff series against the Blackhawks, 1988, and Millen was the winning goaltender. Vincent Riendo, 3rd straight start after replacing Curtis Joseph in Game 5 of their series against Toronto. He had 11 minutes of playoff experience before this series, but he's performed brilliantly for the Blues.
Referee tonight is Bill McCreary, the linesman Dan Shakti, and Bob Hodges. Here in the arena, the Blackhawks and the Blues played, of course, 4 times, 2 St. Louis victories, 1 for Chicago, and 1 tie in the 4 previous games in this rink. Here we go now with Game 3 as Paul Cavallini retreats in his own end. Cavallini has nowhere to go with it, hammers one off the glass back into the Hawk zone. Dave Manson is on it. He falls down. Hall steals, centered, and Zezel tied up, rebound, they score! At the 18-second mark after Dave Manson blows a tire, Sergio Momesso makes it 1-0 Blues.
Well, Momesso coming off his finest year ever in the National Hockey League. Gets his 3rd goal of the playoffs. Manson tries to reach for it, just can't keep up to it. Tries to stop, loses an edge, goes down with Zezel chasing him. Hull puts it out front to Zezel. Zezel's shot kicked towards Momesso, and Momesso puts it high over Millen 18 seconds into the period.
3rd playoff goal for Sergio Momesso. And the Blues off to a roaring start. Here's Keith Brown deep in his own end. Gave it to Greg Gilbert, who carries to center. Shoots it in, but Roenick in there ahead of the play, and it results in an offside call against the Hawks.
Well, Brett Hull keeps his scoring streak at 8 games now in the playoffs and gets the assist along with Zezalon Momesso's third of the playoffs. Momesso with over 20 goals for the first time in his career. And a terrific year with the Blues. Boy, he's a big man with good hands. Brett Hull now leading scorer in the playoffs with 14 points on 8 goals and 6 assists in 8 straight.
Now here's the draw. Conroy hammers it into the Blues zone. Jocelyn Lemieux bumped off the puck behind the net. Roenick gathers it into the corner. Trying to center. It's picked off. Then Lemieux got it back, but Poke checked off his stick. Back into the near corner, Roenick. Took a hit there. Lemieux's pass hits a leg, and Paul McLean tries to carry it out for the Blues. Managed to kick it loose to center where Adam Oates feeds to Brindamore, dumping it in. Back of his own net, Conroy shot it around the boards. Taken by Gilbert on left wing for Savard. Racing into the Blues zone. Savard waiting for help as the Hawks were changing. He got surrounded. Then a steal by Thomas, cutting for the net. Centered one. Larmer couldn't redirect it to an open side. Larmer in the far corner. Leaves it for Thomas. Centered Savard. Didn't get to him. Larmer moves in. Riendo! Oh, Vincent Riendo saved a sure goal as Larmer tried to pull it to his forehand. Riendo kicked out the right pad and knocked it off his stick, or it was a sure tally for Larmer.
Steve Larmer led the team in scoring with 90 points, the Blackhawks that is, and leads the team in scoring in the playoffs. Scored the first goal of game 2. Riendo kicks it away as Larmer tried to make a move from in close. Fully extended, tries to pull it back. Riendo beaten to the puck, but somehow recovered and got his right pad onto the shot. Just prior to that, Steve Thomas passed one through the goal mouth trying to give Larmer a tap in, but Larmer couldn't accept the fast pass.
Mahar and Savard now to the left of Riendo. There's the draw. Mahar comes up with it in the corner, shot it around the board. Rich Sutter on a rough ride from Creighton, and Featherstone carries out to Lowry. Chips it ahead, broken up by Yanni nicely to Larmer. He puts Wilson to center. Doug Wilson knocked down there by Mahar from behind, and the game's first penalty will be called here. It's early. It's 1-0 St. Louis.
Did you know that even though your 800 service is working perfectly, unexpected events can keep you from getting calls?
Hello?
But only AT&T automatically covers you with our 800 assurance policy. Within 1 hour, we can reroute 800 calls to any working phone, even at home. Guaranteed. Reliability, another AT&T advantage. Call today about our special 800 offer.
Blackhawks get the first power play, a chance to tie it up. They have 3 goals and 11 chances. Doug Wilson through the neutral zone on a feed from Larmer, pulled down from behind by Mahar, and Mahar goes to the penalty box.
Savard, Goulet, and Larmer out there with Wilson and Bob Murray. Here's the draw to Murray, far point, lets it go, and he shot it wide. Around to the near side, Wilson up the boards, missing Savard, then Goulet has it in the corner. Looking for Savard along the boards. Ron Wilson stepped into him. Now the Blues, Wilson can't get it by. Doug Wilson at the near point. For Larmer, side of the net, Goulet, deep slot to Wilson, a drive. They score! Tipped in, it may have hit Steps. The Blackhawks on the power play score their 3rd of the series, and their 4th of the series, I should say, and now the Hawks have tied St. Louis at 1.
Goulet made the pass through the middle, right onto Doug Wilson. He let it go. There's some traffic along the near boards. Larmer into Goulet. Goulet back to Wilson. Wilson lets it go. It hits Schneps and it deflects past Riendo and into the net. Wilson gets his 2nd goal of the playoffs. A power play goal for the Blackhawks. 2:12 into the period, so 2 goals in the first 2 minutes. 18 seconds of the game, the Blues score. And the tip in off the stick and skate of Schneps and past a surprise Vince Riendo.
Goulet and Savard are given the assists on Wilson's goal at 2:12.
It should be Goulet and Larmer. There, Larmer got it to Goulet, who in turn gave it to Wilson. Well, it's a tie game anyway.
Well, they've announced Savard. We'll see if they change it. Here's the draw. Steve Thomas got driven almost into his own bench by Paul Cavallini. Now Troy Murray behind the net. Took a hit from Momesso, who wins the puck. Momesso failed to get it by Presley, who picks it off behind the goal. Presley looking for help in front of the net. Gave it to Bob Murray at the near point. His long shot sails wide. Thomas holding it in. Steve Thomas walks into the slot. Now the shot is blocked by a fallen Zezel. Rebound off the crossbar. Thomas took a whack at a bouncing puck, shot it by Riendo's glove, but it hit the bar, and the Blues cleared the length for an icing call.
Well, that was a surprise shot. His first attempt hit the Blues player who was in front of him. It came back, he turned and did a 360, just swatted at it in desperation. Puck flipped up in the air, and Riendo was set for a much harder shot and then didn't see the puck till it was by him, and the puck just knuckled towards the net and hit the crossbar. The first attempt by Thomas hit Zezel, then he just turned and swatted at it. Got enough of it to fool Riendo. The knuckle ball.
Savard and Mahar again get ready. This draw to the far corner. Mahar on it there. And Rick Mahar starts the Blues away, feeding Rich Sutter. Dumping it into the Blackhawk zone. Lowry hustled to the corner, shoots one to save. Millen rebound taken by Doug Wilson. Lowry with just excellent hustle, got a chance out of that. Here comes Larmer the other way. Gaining the line, stopping, waiting for Wilson, but the pass missed him and trickles free back to center ice. Richard Sutter for the Blues. Steps in over the line, got Wilson off balance, and the play offside, or the Blues had a good-looking rush going. Still early, 3.5 minutes gone in the first. It's already 1-1.
Are we on yet?
We on yet?
Jordan gets the ball. He drives down the left side of the fairway. Bo Jackson catches it at the wall and fires a bullet to McEnroe.
Yes.
Wow. Delectable. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Gretzky takes the puck up the ice and fires
The back end out of the bunker for a home run. Score. Game, set, and touchdown.
Nice shoes.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Holy cow!
Now here's the draw. Flipped into the Chicago zone. Manson behind the net. Trying to go up the middle over the stick of Roenick. And Paul McLean gathers it in for the Blues. Bouncing it into Chicago ice. Dave Manson is back. Manson bounced one to center, just away from Goulet. Carried on, though, by Larmer. Moves over the line, left it for Roenick, cutting up the slot. Shoot! Snap blocked the shot. It trickled just wide. Rebound, Roenick trying to stuff it in. Riendo able to get to the near post and smother the stop shot. And the goal comes off the mooring.
Now Schnapp makes amends for deflecting that Doug Wilson shot into his own net. Blocking a shot by Roenick, who got some good work from Lemieux. The Blues back in. The drop pass to Roenick. He goes right through the middle. The shot just off the skate of Snaps. Gets by Snaps. It has Riendo beaten, as Riendo had no idea where the shot went after it hit Snaps. Snaps got enough of it that deflected wide of the net, and then it ended up near the side. Roenick tried to stuff in, but Riendo was right there. Then Lemieux tried to poke at it, and he was knocked into the net from behind by McLean. It's been a physical series, but a well-played series, and very cleanly played.
Adam Creighton out there now with Secord and Presley. For Chicago, Peter Zezel. As Momesso. And Hull for St. Louis.
Now, Zezel's a very good face-off man, but he gets thrown out in a hurry, and Creighton will go against a winger, Momesso.
Now the draw. Taken by Secord behind the net to Creighton. Here's the long reach for the wraparound, and it's saved by Riendo. Rebound to the Blues. Momesso trying to flip it to the left, to the right wing boards. It deflects up over the glass and into the crowd.
Momesso with a good job there in the faceoff, but he forgot to tie up the centerman. That's the job of the faceoff man. Win or lose the draw, you have to eliminate the centerman, and he allowed the Blackhawks to pick up the puck in the corner on a faceoff that he had won. And Creighton attempted the wraparound. And while Momesso got the puck, tried to feed Brett Hull with a high, hard pass that deflected up into this full house.
Now Savard back out there with Larmer, and Gilbert this time is on the left side. Mahar, Lowry, and Sutter for St. Louis. Here's the draw. Doug Wilson rolled it to center. Now Yanni back in his own end, feeding Savard, who was too well covered. Then Yanni carried on. Brent Yanni got to center ice, was stopped there. And Savard got to it, picks it up in over the line. Savard feeding Gilbert, trying to center for Larmer. Rolled off the end of his stick, though. Into the near corner it goes. Larmer put it to the deep slot. Yanni, a long wrist shot. Riendo stopped it. Rebound Lawler. Savard bumped him into the corner. Now Larmer after the loose puck. And Steve Larmer's pass deflected by Lowry back to center ice. Now Savard. Feathers one ahead for Larmer over the line. Peels off to the near side. Larmer bounced one in behind the goal. Taken there by Mike Lawler. He feeds Lowry. Now Zezel to center. Peter Zezel. And a feed to Hull. The pass too far in front of him, and Bob Murray got it to the St. Louis line. Forward to Roberts. Didn't have anything to do with the puck as Roenick had him lined up. Now Momesso lost it at center to Thomas. Cavallini stepped into him nicely, and the Blackhawks able to dump it in. Roberts got it around the boards, back into Chicago territory. Manson or Presley at center ice turning. Flipped it over the line. Conroy on the near side, and Paul Cavallini knocked it loose to Hull. Brett Hull races in against Manson. Hull trying to turn him around. Manson played the body nicely, and Hull had nowhere to go. And now it comes loose to the near corner. Blues dig it out. Paul Cavallini at the line. Got it to Momesso on the near side. Sergio Momesso scooped it around behind the net. Bounced off the mesh, and now will lay there as Millen pins it up against the side of the goal. With just under 14 minutes remaining in the opening period, it's Chicago 1, St. Louis 1. As we pause for a regional break.
Sports Channel America and USA Today want to put you in the Stanley Cup Finals. We're giving away round-trip coach airfare for two, 4-day, 3-night hotel accommodations, and tickets to the first two games of the Stanley Cup Finals. Call to order USA Today and be entered automatically, or send your name, address, and daytime phone number on a postcard to the address on the screen. Postcards must be received by May 3rd, and you must be at least 18 years old to enter. Win a trip to one of these great cities in the USA Today Sports Channel America Stanley Cup Finals giveaway.
Two goals in the first 2 minutes and 12 seconds of this game. Momesso at the 18-second mark for St. Louis, and Wilson answered for Chicago on a Blackhawk power play at 2:12. Now ready, here's the draw. Taken by Manson. He cleared it to the far side. Larmer, a neat touch pass to Savard. Puts him over the line on Schnepp. Cutting and shoots one. Riendo stopped it. Rebound Savard. Behind the goal for Gilbert. He goes down there. Then Larmer tries to flip it to the far side, but the only man there is Gino Cavallini for St. Louis. Jeff Brown, who dumps one in. Manson swings it around the boards. Gilbert sends Savard on his way. 2-on-2 as he crosses the line, leaving for Larmer, who's flipped by Featherstone. And Featherstone sent Steve Larmer flying. And now Doug Wilson looks for Goulet, who bangs it in there. Featherstone back for the Blues. Cleared it to the far board. Gino Cavallini, too well covered by Yanni. Goulet stole it. To Roenick centering. Ron Wilson picked it off. Clears not out. Yanni shot it behind the net. Dwayne Sutter for Chicago. Knocked down by Featherstone. Then Roenick came up with it. Roenick at the side of the goal. Turns in behind. One hand on his stick trying to get away from Wilson. Now his pass is stolen. And Lowry bangs it back into the Hog zone. There's Yanni. Bearing to center ice. Roberts there for St. Louis to Oates. Adam Oates dumping it in. Doug Wilson. There's it back into the St. Louis end. Gord Roberts. This pass bounced to Paul Cavallini, who managed to flip it to the Hawk line. Keith Brown there. Gave it to Bob Murray. Murray feeding Presley over the line. Presley got around one check, but then lost the handle to Roberts. And Roberts to the left wing boards for Adam Oates. Looking for Brindamore, who couldn't field the pass along the boards. Keith Brown picks it up in his own end and banks it out to center ice. Now a two-line pass made by the Blues, and the whistle sounds. Sometimes being on the road can be a disadvantage from a coaching standpoint because you can't get the matchups you want. Sometimes, if the opposing coach lets you, you can dictate a little bit who's going to play for the home team, and looks like to me, Dale, so far in this game, Mike Keenan's doing that.
Sure, you put your explosive unit out there at every opportunity. The home team tries to counter with their defensive line, and they don't get much offense out of it. So that's exactly what's happening here. They're so concerned with Savard and Larmer and whoever's on the left side, Gilbert now out there, that you put your checking line out there and you don't get much offense. So all of a sudden now Mahar's out there with Hull and Momesso. So he's changed the line, but he's kept the centerman the same. You have to be careful there that you don't get in that trap.
As a result of that, we've seen very little of Oates and Brindamore. Rod Brindamore scored 2 goals in game 1. He had 3 assists in game 2. He's had, I think, only 2 shifts so far in the game. Here we go into the Blues zone. Featherstone chopped it in behind his own net to Lawler. Mike Lawler starts the Blues away. Scooped it to the far side. Momesso stepped to the line. Was poke checked there by Keith Brown, and Bob Murray hacked it back to center ice. Now it deflects over the glass and into the crowd. Well, Brett Hull, almost every time he's been on the ice, if he gets around his winger, he's looking at number 6, Bob Murray, who for just about his entire 15-year career has been a right defenseman. And I can recall, Dale, only a handful of times in the last several years where we've seen Bob Murray play on the left side, but he's done that effectively in this series.
It takes a little getting used to, but he did a fine job in game 2, and he's out there again playing both sides tonight. Brett Hull has had a terrific career. 10 goals in the playoffs lifetime against the Blackhawks. 11 goals this year, including regular season. His father scored 50 goals. He was just a year and a half old.
11 minutes remaining in the first period. 1-1 as Creighton and Ron Wilson get ready at center ice, and the draw is taken by Schneps. Clearing it out to center. Now Jeff Brown goes down on a Secord and Creighton sandwich. Brown slow to get up, but he is back up as Schneps plays behind his own net. Gave it away to Secord. Fires! And a save by Riendo. Rebound, Secord, a bouncing puck. Got help from Lemieux, who shoots one, and that's blocked out in front of the net. And now Secord levels Zezel. Here's a bouncing puck. Lemieux shoots one, and a save by Riendo. And now the whistle stops the play. I said it was Zezel. It was Kelly Chase that was hurt at the St. Louis line. And the Blues fans upset that apparently there will be no penalty here. Now Chase challenging Secord. And the linesman Hodges and Shakti with a good read there, getting to that potential trouble spot, and they keep those two separated.
Well, an aggressive shift for the Blackhawks with Creighton having Lemieux and Secord on his wings. First Brown was flattened, and then Chase went down.
A penalty or two on the way here. It's 1-1 as we pause for a regional break.
Sports Channel America cranks up the power this summer with nitro-breathing piston-powered action. See 8 top NASCAR races in the Grand National Championship. The series takes off April 28th with the Busch Grand National 200, only on the Sports Channel America Network. Monday, it's the pivotal third game of the Wales Division Finals. The series between the Rangers and the Caps shifts to Landover. Or see the Bruins invade the Forum for a war with the Canadiens. The Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America, Monday.
Well, St. Louis is going to get a power play. Secord's going to get 2 for high sticking and 2 for unsportsmanlike. The chase goes down. Secord just turned and swatted him across, hit the shoulder pad and caught him on the side of the head. He's lucky he only got 2 minutes. The official McCurry didn't see it. The linesman made that call. And then after the whistle blew, Chase and Secord got into a pushing match. So they both get offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties. But the high sticking penalty, the additional penalty, gives the Blues their first power play of the game. Hawk penalty killing has been excellent in their first series and has been very good in this series. They've only allowed 1 power play goal in 8 chances for the Blues. The Blues scored 18 seconds into the first period, but most of the play has been in the Blues end the first half of the period. And now they get a chance to turn that momentum around with a power play of their own. Hawk goal coming on the power play at 2:12.
Larmer and Gilbert come on as the Hawk penalty killers along with Brown and Bob Murray. The Blues send out Ron Wilson with Peter Zezel and Brett Hull. Jeff Brown and Paul Cavallini, the point men here to open the Blues power play. There's the draw to Cavallini. And the Blues work their way out of their own end. Cavallini will get to center and hammer it in there. Far corner, Zezel leaves it for Ron Wilson. His pass hits a leg to Bob Murray, who cleared it to center ice. Paul Cavallini gave it to Jeff Brown. Now Zezel. He puts it to Ron Wilson, stepping over the line. Turns on the near side, goes down, but got help from Jeff Brown. To the corner, Zezel. Peter Zezel lost it to Bob Murray. Chipped it loose to Larmer. He couldn't get it by Brown, who cuts for the net. The backhander and a save by Millen, and he gave no rebound.
Larmer trying to sneak it by the boards against Brown, but Brown was able to get his shin pad up against the board. Keep the clearing attempt in, and then the defenseman was gone in the corner. Bob Murray had gone down and was tied up by Zezel. So Brown pinches in, picks up a loose puck, sees an open ice in the corner, cuts in, and from a sharp angle gets by Bob Murray, goes to the backhand. And Millen had the angle and then made the save and then fell backwards. Jeff Brown acquired from the Nordiques. Good offensive defenseman utilized on the point. The power play has a terrific shot.
At 54 points this year after a 68-point season the year before that with the Quebec Nordiques. This is the first time in 3 years that Jeff Brown's had a chance to play in the postseason. Now Troy Murray and Ron Wilson will go for the draw. We're halfway through the first period, tied at 1. And the Blues on the power play. Murray's thrown out. Savard will have to step in. Now the draw. Savard won it to Keith Brown. He clears it down all the way.
Blackhawks are not a very good face-off team, but that was well done by the Blackhawks there. He couldn't diagram it any better.
Jeff Brown missing Zezel with a feed. It slides back to the Hawk zone. Taken by Bob Murray. He clears. Adam Oates back for St. Louis. Oates feeds Brindamore, who carries it into the Chicago zone. Leaves for Zezel. Here's the drive and a save by Millen. Rebound Oates. Oates in the deep slot, put it to Hull. Can't find the opening, so gave it back to Oates. Now to Hull again. Through to Jeff Brown on the near side. Shooting. Millen stopped it. Rebound Brindamore. For Brown. to the far side where Hull's well covered by Yanni. Couldn't let one rip. Came loose to the near side. Another Hawk penalty's on the way. As Chicago controls, the whistle sounds, and the Hawks are going to be 2 men short for 16 seconds. It's the Blackhawks 1 and the Blues 1.
It is a race from California to New York.
Can I try that?
To win America's favorite light beer. It is the Tour Delight. Here comes the Jamaican bobsled team, Plecko and White, and of course, Run DMC.
Hey guys, I know a shortcut. Follow me.
Well, there goes Woody Harrelson. They all want to win the less filling beer that really tastes great, Miller Lite. And so, it's on to New York.
Canada. All right. What's on the map?
The Blues applying good pressure at the tail end of their power play. With Brown on the feet from Hull, you sneak off and pay attention to Hull, and Brown is open. He cranks it up. Tried to take a little off that to go along the ice to the stick side. Millen made the save, and then Doug Wilson knocked Zezel down, and that's the holding penalty and a 2-man advantage for 16 seconds.
Near corner, Zezel, top of the ring to Oates, back to Zezel in the corner, centered. Hull missed it. Jeff Brown keeps it in. Brown to the far side, now near side to Oates. He overskates it. Regains now. Oates to the corner, and Zezel. The first Hawk penalty's over. Centering pass. Millen! A bouncing puck in midair that was headed over his right shoulder off the stick of McLean. Millen reached up and keeps the game tied.
Millen getting a break there. McLean doesn't miss very often. A great shooting percentage in the regular season. I think he was 4th overall in the league with just under 25% shooting percentage. He hacked at it. The puck was behind him and bouncing. He just got enough of it. But Millen with a good reaction, snaring it out of midair with his glove hand. Zezel across the goal mouth, and McLean just shoveled it towards the net.
The Hawks were only shorthanded by 2 men for 16 seconds there. That's the 3rd time in the playoffs the Hawks have been short by 2. Overall this year, they've been shorthanded now 25 times by 2 men. And they've allowed only 1 goal to be scored against them. Well, they were short by 2.
And that's why they get it called so often, because the officials know they're good at it.
Really doing him a favor, huh?
Sure.
Here's Adam Oates feeding Brindamore. Cleared it over the line to Hull on the left side. Dropped it for Jeff Brown. His shot. Millen saw that one all the way. Gloves it easily and holds on. And now McLean and Yanni have a few words, but that's all for now.
An easy save for Millen. Saw it all the way. A long wrist shot. Paul McLean with 20 goals in his career in the playoffs. 30 more goals, 8 of 9 years.
And the only year he didn't score 30, he scored 27. So a veteran sniper, and you mentioned that last chance. He's not going to miss too many of those from the doorstep. Just didn't get quite enough wood on it.
Second stint with the Blues organization. He was traded from the Blues to Winnipeg.
Adam Oates at the near point, slipped into the deep slot. Jeff Brown, a drive deflected upstairs. Rebound to Troy Murray, and he clears the center.
Brown's shot hit the shaft of Savard's stick and deflected up over the net.
A minute left in the Blues power play. Brett Hull rubbed off by Yanni beautifully. Gilbert controls, failed to clear it his first. Now he has a second chance and got it to Larmer on the right side at center. Steps over the line, shoots one, and a save by Riendo. He juggles. Now goes down to cover as both Larmer and Bob Murray and Gilbert, as it turned out, drove for the net.
Well, Gilbert's first clearing attempt hit his own player, and then he was able to recover and then bank it off the far boards to Larmer. Bob Murray caught up with the play, but Larmer trying to surprise Riendo with a high shot from the far side. Larmer took a look back, and then decided to crank it up. Well, the good players really have the ability to skate with their head up and take a look and looked to see if he was going to be rushed. Wasn't. Then looked to see who was coming with him. Didn't see anybody open, so then he decided to shoot.
Paul Cavallini starts the Blues power play off by feeding Featherstone. The Brindamore, and his dumping sails into the crowd, and Brindamore goes down as if he was clipped by a high stick. Looked like that was right in front of Bill McCreary. The Blues pleading their case, and McCreary does not appear like he's going to call a penalty at all.
Well, Brindamore in the neutral zone goes to dump it in. It hits the shaft of Manson's stick. He has one hand on his stick. The stick comes up. I don't know if it was Manson's or the guy back checking in behind in a hooking attempt.
That's who it was, the player behind him that clipped him on the right side of the face there. And it was right in front of Bill McCreary, so Blues can't complain they didn't see it. Here's McCreary behind the play, and he saw this one all the way.
Well, it was Steve Larmer's stick that clipped him. Larmer was tied up momentarily by Featherstone, and then his stick came up and clipped Brindamore in the side, and I think McCreary probably thought it was Manson's stick that got him. But no penalty, and Larmer and Manson continue to see action the rest of the night. 35 seconds remaining on the Blues power play.
7.5 to go in the first. We're tied at 1 as Featherstone tries to shoot a long one. Bob Murray blocked it to Gilbert, who clears. Took a big hit in the process. He was really leveled by Brindamore. Now a bad pass by Riendeau, stolen by Yoni. He tried to set up Larmer in front, but Paul Cavallini stole it. Now lost it to Larmer. Larmer works along the boards. He'll waste a little time, dropping it out to center ice, and Bob Murray. Murray waits for somebody to come to him and then clears. And the Hawk penalty now is over. Both teams back at full strength. Sergio Momesso banks it for Adam Oates. Oates in over the Hawk line. His pass stolen by Manson. Manson back to the Blues line. Fakes the shot. Got around Lawler. Shooting. Riendeau. He gloved that one between his legs, reaching behind. It may have gotten a piece of the left pad, but then a circus-type move by Riendeau to keep the puck out of the net. 6.5 to go in the first. It's 1-1.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. Scrumptious.
More and more people are finding more and more reasons to choose the Discover card. Here's one. Cash back for every charge. It pays to Discover.
Well, Dave Manson, good read on an Oates play at the Hawk blue line, intercepted the pass towards Hull, came up the left wing boards. 1-on-3 situation, faked the slap shot. The defenseman backed off Lawler, giving Manson some room, and then Manson's shot got the glove of Riendeau, and then Riendeau fell back with his leg, with his arm between his legs as he fell backwards.
Now the draw to Steve Conroy. Banked one to the side of the net. Lawler there, got knocked to the ice. Thomas centered one. Riendeau blocked the pass though. And Zezel overskates, and Roenick a backhander and a save by Riendeau. And the Blues will gladly accept an icing call here as the Hawks off the draw. Had a couple of decent chances offensively.
They're doing well in the face-offs tonight. Defensive roles in their own zone. They've won a few. There they get a good chance off the draw. Roenick winning it back to Conroy. Conroy did the right thing. Instead of trying to go to the net, trying to shoot it through someone, he elected to go to the short side to get it by. First priority is to make sure it gets through, and he went to the bank shot off the corner boards. It came out to the side of the net. Thomas pried it loose, got it out front, and then Roenick tried to wrap around.
Roenick and Zezel now ready to the right of Riendeau. Zezel, Momesso, and McLean for Brian Sutter's Blues. Roenick, Thomas, and Presley for Mike Keenan's Hawks. Here's the draw back to center ice. Presley there. Lost the handle, and Manson retreats into his own end. Dave Manson gave it to Momesso, but he failed to hold in a bouncing puck. Now Thomas the other way. Gains the line, and Momesso got back defensively to steal his pass. Sergio Momesso. Nice Irish boy. Over the Hawk line, Manson stood him up and forced the play offside.
No, Roenick never quit. He kept coming back, kept working Momesso, hooking him, whacking with the stick, and then Manson forced the play at the line. Momesso was not too pleased with that situation and fired the puck after the whistle up against the boards. Four goals for Momesso.
Chase and Secord are getting ready to go here. They're lined up for the draw, and they're having a problem doing that.
Now McCrory comes over. The linesman comes back at them. Most of the conversation between the linesman and Chase. Secord.
Now here's the draw, taken by Conroy. His pass off the stick of Keith Brown and into the seats. Chase and Secord eyeballing right in front of McCreary, and the linesman come over there to keep the peace temporarily anyway. Kelly Chase, who this year is a 22-year-old rookie, averaged 6 penalty minutes per game that he played. Last year in Peoria, in 38 games, had 278 penalty minutes. The year before that in the Western Junior League had 343 penalty minutes.
Well, he's got a baby face, looks like an angel. You never know. You see him in his civvies and you think he was just coming from Mass.
Now the draw, taken by Keith Brown, pushed it to center. Adam Creighton was surrounded by Blues. Ron Wilson took it away, steps in over the line. Ron Wilson tees it up, fires, and Millen got a piece with the left pad. Now the Blues unable to hold it in. Now corralled by Keith Brown. Brown dumps it into the Hawk zone. Featherstone around the boards for Gino Cavallini. Cavallini rolled it to center. Taken there by Keith Brown, rolling it into the blue zone, and Featherstone sends it ahead to Momesso on the left side, or Gino Cavallini rather, with a long slapper up off the glass. Chase to the corner, lost it there to Savard. Dennis Savard motors to center ice. Savard put it over the line to Larmer. Oh, the pass was at his feet. He couldn't corral it, and Jeff Brown does. Banking it out to Sutter at center. Rich Sutter in over the Hawk line, centered it. Mahar couldn't control the pass. Now back of the Hawk goal, Mahar against Yanni. Yanni tied him up to the corner. Came loose to Rich Sutter moving in front. Doug Wilson knocked him off the puck with a good hit. Now Mahar along the boards. Got it to Schneps, trying to center one. Wilson steals, and Schneps re-steals a shot up off the glass. And Wilson, Doug Wilson, cleared to center ice. Taken there by Larmer. Larmer, as the Hawks are changing, has no help, so he waits before he shoots it in, and a casual move by Riendo almost cost him. A little nonchalant, but he had to make the stop, and he eventually did. Down to 4 minutes remaining in the first. We're tied at 1.
Hey, little guy, you're beginning to look a lot like your daddy. Pretty soon you're gonna be growing hair. I'm starting to lose mine. So I just did something lots of us big guys are doing. I went to the doctor. He said there are things that can help. Hey, just because we start out bald doesn't mean we have to end up that way.
Doctors have treatment programs that work. So see your doctor or call this number.
With Dale Talon, Pat Foley in the St. Louis Arena. Full house on hand for Game 3 here tonight. The Hawks and the Blues started this one like we might get to double figures before it's over. Now more of a typical Chicago-St. Louis type game. But they each scored a goal in the first 2 minutes. Here's Brett Hull storming in, shoots, and a save by Millen. Rebound. Momesso knocked it loose to Zezel. Centering, knocked away from Paul Cavallini. Hawks on the counterattack. Here's Thomas looking for Presley, and a good defensive play by Brett Hull rather, to pick that one out of midair. Now Bob Murray trying to dump it in. Momesso stopped it. Heath Brown able to break up that potential rush for the Blues, and Troy Murray. There's it to St. Louis territory. Roberts for the left wing boards, taken by Momesso. Now Zezel. Peter Zezel. So Momesso flipping it in, and a penalty is going to be called as Zezel goes down. The Hawks control the whistle sound. Steve Conroy not very happy with the call, but the Blues nonetheless will head to the power play.
Third straight power play. They had a 2-man advantage for 16 seconds. And Conroy trying to slow up Zezel in the neutral zone. That play is done with regularity. They're taught to do that when the player is dumped in. A defenseman stands up. But prior to that, Brett Hull, who had a step on Bob Murray, tried to go to the short side. Millen made the save, and then Zezel's pass was deflected by Troy Murray, and the Hawks countered, came the other way. And it was Brett Hull in a back-checking role who broke up the pass. Meanwhile, a 2-minute interference penalty to Steve Conroy at 16:44 for knocking down Zezel, as Zezel attempted to get to the St. Louis dump in.
Meager 1 for 10 in the series for St. Louis. That's a little deceiving because a couple of the Blues power plays have been very short. Although the way stats are kept in the NHL, if you have a man advantage for even 1 or 2 seconds, it counts as a full power play. So sometimes those numbers can be a little misleading. In this case, they are, but it doesn't hide the fact that the Blues need better production than they are getting on their power play.
Brian Foley here at the game tonight.
That guy is from Quebec City. The Blues have hired him to come in here to try to spark the crowd here at home. But this gentleman is a fella from Quebec City. He lives there and attended all the Quebec Nordiques games, and he's taking full responsibility for why they didn't make the playoffs. Good looking guy, though. Here's the draw. Brett Hull scores! Adam Oates won the draw from Savard, and just like that, Hull scores his 9th playoff goal in 8 games. 2-1 Blues.
We talked about the Hawks face-off problems all through the regular season. They were doing a good job tonight, but Oates won it from Savard. And Hull, who was moving in, he was already sneaking in at the top of the circle, and he beat Millen to the stick side. Puck is on edge. Trent Yawney comes out to block it. And that in itself gave Millen problems, and the speed of the shot was in and out, and a 2-1 Blues lead, a power play goal. They're 1 for 3. But Millen didn't even move.
Nine goals in the playoffs, 81 goals all year for the great Gretzky. There's the draw. Heath Brown scoops it in there. Lord Roberts back. Roberts gave it away to Roenick, centering Thomas. Oh, he couldn't pull the trigger as Roberts recovered to poke it away. And now the Hawks dump it back in. On the near side, Paul Cavallini chopped it out to center. Adam Oates there. Got around one check over the line to Brindamore, centering Oates, and he was too well covered. It's cleared to the neutral area. Roberts dumping it right back in. Millen falling down behind the net, but he's able to field it. Got it to the right wing boards, and Presley bounced it not out. Brindamore trying to get it to Oates. It hopped over his stick. Now the Blackhawks come out of their own end. Jeremy Roenick into the Blues zone. A wrist shot gloved by Riendo, and Jeff Brown feeds Brindamore. He got rubbed off by Creighton at center ice. Now Yanni feeding Savard, has Creighton coming. Savard yanked down by Sutter from behind. That'll be a penalty against St. Louis. So the Blackhawks will finish the first period with a power play opportunity.
Well, they started the period with 1 and scored their lone goal on the power play, and they need to tie it up with a power play goal. The Blues took 2 seconds on their last power play right off the draw. Savard hooked from behind by Sutter. Sutter goes to the box. Savard goes down, and the Hawks go to the power play.
Blackhawk power play in this series has been more effective than the St. Louis power play, at least to this point. The Hawks have scored 4 power play goals, counting the one that they have tonight. 4 out of 12 so far with the extra man.
Their power play struggled against the North Stars. It seems to be back on track in this series.
Savard, Goulet, and Larmer with Wilson and Bob Murray at the points. Mahar and Lowry for St. Louis, with Schnaps and Lallert. Here's the draw to Bob Murray to the far corner, and Larmer. His pass stolen by Mahar, clearing. Now Doug Wilson beating Savard at center. Got stopped by Schnaps at the line. Doug Wilson able to dump it in there. Schnaps goes back, gathers it in, and clears. Doug Wilson again leads the Chicago rush. Gave it to Bob Murray. He chips it into the Blues zone. Taken by Savard. Near point to Wilson. Touch pass across to Bob Murray. He got tied up by Adam Oates, who steals but couldn't clear it. However, Lallert will. He's got plenty of time and shoots it down all the way. Into the final minute of the period as Larmer moves up the right side, avoiding a hit from Ron Wilson. Now got it to Roenick over the line. For Creighton in the far corner, leaves it there for Roenick. It's kicked off his stick to Ron Wilson. He feeds Lowry at center, but he couldn't hold the pass. Doug Wilson clearing poor Thomas over the line. Steve Thomas against Lowry along the boards. Back of the net to Creighton. Adam Creighton bumped by Roberts to the corner. Now Roenick in trying to dig it out. He did to the line, and Wilson. Far point to Manson, a long wrist shot, and a save by Riendo. Rebound Creighton. For Thomas on the far side. Back to the line in Manson. For Thomas, the one-timer. He hit Creighton in front of the net. Karam to the near board. Taken by Roberts. Chipped it to the far side. Thomas, 2 seconds left. The first period is over. Well, a little flurry by the Blackhawks on the power play at the tail end of the period. But Riendo and the Blues penalty killers managed to hold them off. 16 shots for Chicago in period 1. The Blues had 13 shots on goal. And the scoring opened right after the drop of the puck as Dave Manson went down in his own end. The Blues gained control, and Sergio Momesso popped one in from Zezel and Hall at the 18-second mark to put St. Louis in front. But then the Hawks on a power play got a break when Doug Wilson's long shot caromed in off of Harold Schnaps. Wilson assisted by Savard and Larmer. They say that should be changed. It should be Goulet and Larmer. We'll see how it turns out. But anyway, then the Blues came back with a power play score of their own. Brett Hall right off a draw, won by Adam Oates. Hall cranked it in at 16:46 to put the Blues out in front. So after 20 minutes of play, an entertaining start to this third game, as were the first two in Chicago. And through one period, it's the Blues 2 and the Hawks 1.
Strap yourself in for high-speed excitement. Auto racing is coming this summer to the Sports Channel America Network.
They called him Duke, the legendary John Wayne. From the gunfights of the Old Southwest to the brutal battles in the South Pacific, John Wayne captured the spirit of America. Now, Time Life Video presents the John Wayne Collection. All his most memorable movies at last on home video. Start with the classic Rio Bravo, your first John Wayne movie in this spectacular collection. It's yours for the special introductory price of only $14.99, a savings of 25%. If you keep it, you'll receive another great John Wayne movie every other month. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime. So call now to get John Wayne in Rio Bravo for only $14.99. Have your credit card ready. Here's how to order.
To order your John Wayne collection, call 1-800-841-0300.
Or send just $14.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to John Wayne Collection, P.O. Box 4670, Omaha, Nebraska.
Get ready for a special Sports Illustrated sneak preview.
It's unreal. The man, it's like he's from another planet. You never know what he's going to do. He doesn't even know. He just does it, and you're like,
duh. They just saw an amazing video cassette presented by Sports Illustrated, starring the most exciting figure in sports today.
who else? Jordan.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Michael Jordan, Come Fly With Me 1990. Over 40 minutes of the game's ultimate playmaker. Yours free with your paid subscription to SI.
Yes!
Call toll-free and get 26 issues of SI at over 45% off the cover price.
I didn't realize you could save that much.
Including SI's blockbuster baseball preview, the Giant 35th anniversary covers issue, and the red hot swimsuit issue.
So what's the catch?
No catch. You get it all for just 3 monthly installments of $12.97 each. Even use your credit card.
Golden. Let's do it.
Save over 45% and get the Jordan video free.
You're going to be giving away a lot of these babies, starting right here.
Well, after one period of play, it's the St. Louis Blues 2 and the Blackhawks 1. Sergio Momesso opened the scoring at the 18-second mark. Then Doug Wilson countered at 2:12 on the power play, and a late power play goal by Brett Hull, his 9th of the year, made it 2-1 St. Louis at 16:46. It's 2-1 St. Louis, and with me is one of the star players of the Blackhawks who's been out with an injury, the captain of the Blackhawks, Dirk Graham. Let's get an update. Dirk, we're going to see you in this playoff series at all.
Well, I sure hope so. It's been a long, tough grind for me. It's something that I've never really had to deal with before. But the injury's coming along. It's right now, I think it's a day-to-day type of thing. You know, the knee is healed sufficiently. It's just a matter of getting back on the ice without too much pain and getting back into playoff shape.
You said it's very difficult for you to sit up and watch this team here tonight. Probably one of its best playoff road periods, yet it's down 2-1. How do you, what would you have to say to your teammates right now?
Well, it was tough on us. We did play a heck of a period, I thought. You know, it's the type of thing where when you go on the road, you want to neutralize the other team's advantage, you know, with the crowd and everything like that, having them come out and storm you. They came out with the first goal in 18 seconds, but then the guys, you know, settled it down and came back with Dougie's goal. So there's not a whole lot. I think if we continue to play the way we have been, we'll be all right. You know, maybe our scoring opportunities that we did have, we didn't bear down quite as good as we should have. I think their goaltender's a little bit tight, so we should try to get a lot of rubber at them.
Is there anything that surprised you in this series so far?
No, not so far. I think it's been good, hard-hitting hockey, and that's what we expected coming into this series. You know, it was a little tough for us the first game after coming out of an emotional series with Minnesota. But now I think we're on track and playing the type of hockey we're capable of. So nothing's really surprised me. I think that our defensive play has been solid. Our offensive play, we could use a few more goals, but I think that'll come along.
You've played in this arena in these hot days here in St. Louis. What's it like?
It's tough. I remember a game last year in double overtime, and it's like 90 degrees outside, and it's very tough to play. But, you know, you keep taking a lot of liquids and pump the water into you, and hopefully that'll keep you hydrated.
Well, good luck with the knee. Hurry back and get back into the lineup.
Thank you very much, Dale.
All right, our guest, Dirk Graham. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Wow, this cleaning's taking forever.
Oh, it's not going too well, is it? You mean you're not done yet?
We're not even close.
Some people have not yet tried Tartar Control Crest.
I can't believe this.
And some people have. That was easy, because Tartar Control Crest can help make cleanings easier.
A new world's record, eh?
After all, it is the toothpaste more dentists recommend. Highly commendable.
Great. See you later.
Tartar Control Crest. It's hard on tartar and easy on you.
Do I get a lollipop?
We tested STP oil treatment under the worst possible conditions. In the taxi cabs in New York City. The result? Engine lift to wear was reduced by up to 50%. And now there's an STP for your newer car, too.
You've just discovered your car has a clear coat finish, which your ordinary wax just ruined. Simonized non-abrasive wax won't scratch today's clear coat finishes, and that'll save you a lot of grief.
Me and Joe were two of the most feared players in football. But now we want to try more peaceful pursuits, like fishing. We brought along some cold Miller Lights. The Light's not some watered-down version of a regular beer. It's a less filling beer that really tastes great.
You ready to try and catch a fish, Randy?
Okay, Joe, I'll go first. Hey, fish, get in the boat!
Oh, this fish is pretty easy.
It's no fish story. When it's Miller Lite, less filling tastes great.
Hey, that one's too small. Get out of here.
Nothing moves you.
Cougar LS. It's sleek, like a cat. And its speed-sensitive steering gives it cat-like agility. You'll spend endless hours playing with it. In fact, this cat could become man's best friend.
See your dealer now for low financing or special savings on 1990 Mercury Cougar LS.
Welcome back to our Sports Channel America studios in New York. I'm Bob Papa. After one period, the Blues lead the Blackhawks 2-1. Unlike last year when the Blackhawks knocked off the Blues in the Norris Division Finals in 5 games, this year's series has the makings of a long set. The scene has shifted to St. Louis for game number 3. And right now, after one period of play, you see St. Louis in front by a 2-1 score. Brett Hull with his 9th goal and an assist in this game. This series tied up at 1 game apiece. Well, during that first period of play, we saw several interesting things that took place. Now, one of the keys for teams during the playoffs is to play smart hockey and not to take stupid penalties in the offensive zone. And what we'll see here is Chicago in the offensive zone putting pressure on the Blues, and Al Secord takes a high sticking penalty. At the top of your screen, he hits Kelly Chase on the back of the head. And what happens there is now St. Louis will go on a power play, and they put pressure on Chicago. Chicago commits another penalty. St. Louis had a 2-man advantage. They have the second best power play in the league. Chicago cannot commit those type of penalties if they want to stay with the Blues' successful power play. Well, as we roll toward the Stanley Cup, let's take a look at some of the men who are making a habit of turning on the red light, the scoring leaders. And Brett Hull on top of it, 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points. Cam Neely of Boston has been spectacular as well. Esa Tikkanen of Edmonton, some clutch goals. Then you see 3 players tied at 11. Dino Ciccarelli has 8 goals for the Washington Capitals. Well, one of the keys to winning the Stanley Cup is the ability of teams to overcome injuries. The Capitals will have to make do without Dino Ciccarelli, at least for the time being. Ciccarelli injured his left knee with 7:47 to go in the 3rd period last night in a collision with Chris King of the Rangers. He left the game, and he has an injured knee, and he is not expected to play in game number 3 against the Rangers. Now, despite Ciccarelli's injury and his lack of production in round number 2, the Capitals still beat the Rangers in game 2 of the Patrick Division Finals. At Madison Square Garden in New York early in the 2nd period, just 25 seconds after the Caps went up 3-1, John Druce tips it in, his 2nd of 3 on the night, 4-1 Capitals. Later in the 2nd, Dale Hunter pokes in the puck off the scramble in front, and the Capitals go up by a score of 5-2. They beat the Rangers. The final there was 6-3. After the game, Washington looks at this game. They tie up the series, and afterwards, John Druce talks about the Capitals able to take advantage of their opportunities.
I think we capitalized on our opportunities in the first period, and I think that was a big difference. We had quite a few chances in the first period last game, and Van Beesbroek came up big for them, and that was a big key, I think, for them.
I thought we went out and took control. I thought we took the body a lot better, and I thought we wore them down to the end. They couldn't seem to get anything going, and we were real strong. Our guys are real determined to win tonight, and I think it showed. We played 3 solid periods.
Strong effort by the Washington Capitals. Period number 2 from the St. Louis Arena comes your way after this timeout.
Introducing the last word in bodybuilding from the first name in weight training. This is Lee Haney, 6-time and reigning Mr. Olympia, and now his renowned 3-day workout is on video cassette. This is the most comprehensive weight training program ever offered. Totally unique, totally different. The Lee Haney workout shows you the secret of building body tone and muscle, increasing strength, and attaining the attitude of a winner. But this isn't just another weightlifting video. Lee will show you how to get the most out of your body, no matter what shape it's in now, and without the pain and strain that's been holding you back. You'll discover how to meld your mind and muscle into fine-tuned partners in performance. The Lee Haney workout is only $39.95 plus $4 shipping and handling. Call toll-free 1-800-841-0300. The Lee Haney workout is not available in stores. Call now, 1-800-841-0300, and start working out with Mr. Olympia.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Pat Foley with Dale Talon back in the arena here in St. Louis. The Blues with a 2-1 lead over the Blackhawks through 20 minutes of play. It looked like it might be a shootout right off the start. 2 goals in the first 2 minutes, but the teams then settled down to play a more traditional style. And the Blues take a 2-1 lead into the second period. As we go back through the first period, we looked like we might have won an amazing, record-setting type shootout here in the first couple of minutes, but then the team started settling down.
Well, the puck dumped in. Manson tries to stop and turn back against the flow, loses an edge. Zezel forced him. Down Manson goes. Brett Hull picks it up, goes across ice. The pass was intended for Zezel. It deflected off Bob Murray and Zezel right to Momesso. Momesso, the first shot of the night. 12 seconds into, or 18 seconds into the game. It's 1-0 St. Louis. Then the Blackhawks on a power play. Doug Wilson into Larmer and Savard are close. Savard sets a pick. Goulet moves back. Goulet out to Doug Wilson. Wilson lets it go. The one-timer off. Snaps. Pass Riendo and in. That's a tie game at 2:12. And then a late power play goal. A face-off won by Oates. Brett Hull cranks it up as Trent Yawney tries to block it. Millen doesn't see it. And the Blues have a 2-1 lead.
And that's the lead they'll take into the second period, which follows these messages.
That was all wrong. We belong together.
I know.
So let's get married.
Buy a big house.
Sure, we're gonna hit it big, kid. Stocks, bonds. We're on our way to Rainbow City.
In the movies, happy endings are easy, but in the real world, they take solid planning. So for investment advice, peace of mind, even buying or selling a home, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the Rock.
Are your teeth sensitive? Do they hurt? Watch out for the domino effect. It could end in tooth loss. It's a chain reaction that can start with sensitive teeth. Then pain, which can make you stop brushing. That can lead to plaque buildup, gingivitis, periodontal disease, even tooth loss. Sensodyne helps stop the pain and the domino effect. Ask your dentist if you need Sensodyne, the toothpaste dentists recommend most for sensitive teeth. Help stop the pain and the domino effect with Sensodyne.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
It takes more than 180 foot-pounds of torque to tow a $60,000 glider. It takes confidence. The kind I get from my Toyota. The confidence to tow it to the airstrip and the confidence to launch it.
The 1990 Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America are brought to you by your Toyota dealer and Toyota's quality line of 1990 cars and trucks. Toyota, a heritage of reliability. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Sensodyne, toothpaste for sensitive teeth in original fresh mint and gel. By U.S. Sprint in its new world of telecommunications. And by Prudential. Come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the Rock.
Pat Foley and Dale Talon in St. Louis. The Blues take a 2-1 lead into period number 2.
The NHL is on Sports Channel. Our next league game tonight after this game at 9:30 Central, live from the Great Western Forum. The Edmonton Oilers take on the LA Kings. Game 3. It's exclusively on Sports Channel.
Just 3 seconds left on a Rich Sutter penalty. So as soon as they drop the puck, the Blues will be at full strength. And here's the draw dumped into the Blackhawk zone. Bob Murray back for it. Got help from Brown on the far side. Ahead to Gilbert. Now Roenick. Jeremy Roenick drives it into the St. Louis end. On the near side, Roenick got to it in the corner. Scoots behind the net. Rubbed off there by Featherstone. And the Blues look to clear, but Larmer steals the pass. Now got it to Bob Murray. Turning on the far side. Back to Gilbert with a long one-timer. Didn't get anything on it. Dribbled into the corner, where Keith Brown flipped it behind the net. Lauer trying to get away from Larmer. He did. And shot it to the neutral zone. Blackhawks dumping it back in, and off the play we have Gilbert and Lawler tangling, and they're both going to be sent off here. It's all right in front of Bill McCreary, and he'll send them both to the penalty box.
We talked about the fact that it's been a physical series, but very few penalties and very few altercations. Some more conversation between Trent Yawney and Wilson. But Gilbert sent off, and so will Lawler have a seat. 41 seconds into the second period, offsetting minor penalties. Lawler, the former Montreal Canadian, has been a big addition to this Blues defensive core. Played well with Montreal, with just a matter of numbers games with some of the young defensemen they had coming out of their system, so they were forced to trade Lawler. And Ron Caron, the general manager, is certainly on the pulse of things in the Montreal organization, having been there for years and worked for them. And he's made a lot of deals with the Canadians.
Creighton between Lemieux and Goulet out there for Chicago. Zezel, Hull, and Momesso for St. Louis. Here's Paul Cavallini. In his own end to Roberts. Nearly gave it away to Lemieux. Now up the boards, Momesso. Able to bounce it back into the Hog zone. Doug Wilson has to hurry back. He did. Now Wilson flipped it over everybody's head out to center ice. Michel Goulet gave it to Jocelyn Lemieux over the line. Shoots one, and he missed the net. And Momesso clears it back to the neutral area. Manson got it behind the Blues goal. Gord Roberts for St. Louis. Paul Cavallini. And now the Blues come away. Brett Hull into the Hawk zone. Got turned around by Manson. Presley chopped it loose to Thomas. And the Hawks start back. Steve Thomas has room, moving in on Schneps. Thomas the shot, and a save by Riendo. Thomas got all of that hard wrister, but Riendo kicked out the left pad as Schneps backed in on Thomas. Now Troy Murray back to the Blues line, shoots one. Riendo gave up a rebound, and Brown there for the Blues to clear it back to center ice. Hawks dump it in, taken by Schneps. Harold Schneps to Jeff Brown. Now McLean feeds Oates. Adam Oates into the Hawk zone for McLean to the Taylor. Schneps, so he couldn't hold the pass. Hawks are 2-on-1 the other way. Here's Savard with Secord. Savard moving in. Centered one. Larmer's shot is blocked by McLean. And the Blues clear to center. A 2-on-1 with Savard and Secord, and the Hawks never got off a shot. Now Adam Oates for the Blues. Clearing it into the Chicago end. Bob Murray back. Gave it to Secord, who was stopped by Mahar. And then Lowry tries to get it to Rich Sutter. It bounced away from him to center and Larmer. Clearing it into the St. Louis zone. Lowry failed to get it out. Roenick on the near side. Center one. Lemieux hit the side of the net. Jocelyn Lemieux off a Roenick steal and setup. Had a chance, but missed the outside of the post. Here's Doug Wilson back over the line, spun around, knocked down, and one of the linesmen is hurt. Bob Hodges seemed to get caught in some traffic right in front of the bench areas. Hodges went down in a heap and slow to get up now, but getting some assistance from the St. Louis trainer. It's the responsibility of the home trainer, by the way. If any of the officials need assistance, it's the home trainer that's supposed to come to their aid. So there's no, that's just an unwritten rule among trainers. But Hodges regaining himself, it appears. And it's early in the second period at St. Louis 2 and Chicago 1.
The world's most accurate weather radar data is gathered by the WSI Corporation using the reliable 800 service of U.S. Sprint, the network that came through Hugo when AT&T did not.
Let's get that image up. The networks are waiting for the feed.
And if Sprint's nationwide fiber optic network can handle the moods of Mother Nature,
the brunt of this hurricane should miss us.
It can handle any business climate. Reliable all fiber optic 800 service only from U.S. Sprint.